Right, I want to show you something quite amazing regarding the Summer Wells case. Now, this was Spirit Box session number 2, which was done on 15th of June. I don't know if you saw it, but if you didn't, it was one of the ones I do where it leads, Spirit Box leads me around the map, okay? I don't know what it's going to tell me. It just actually leads me around the map. So, this is what it showed me. Hopefully it's not going to get interference. So, why is it doing that? Watch this. Lamp. The Lamplight Theatre Company. Thank you. You need to take notes of the word island there. I've lost it now. Optical. A lot of this was accurate, but this right, bit is particularly important. Right, so it wasn't far from here, because that's where they got the prescription. Her aunt's missing. Oh my God! Tell me how it does this. Her aunt is also missing. I've zoomed in a bit. Sophia. Did that say Hunter? Yes, it did. Right, that's the name of the teenage boy who becomes very relevant in a minute. Oh, so comfortable. I might need to lay that. I don't think that's going to help, no. Oh, shit. Right, she's 4 years old. Well, she was, just turned 5. No, it's helping, sorry. Oh, God. My bloody spine. Sorry, continue. I need this park. Pack. That's what that creepy woman said from the church about pack your snacks or something. Creepy woman. Right, so just fill you in for those of you who don't know, the last footage of this little girl alive was at this swimming hole in a place called Warriors Park. Right, so, sorry, I should have told you that. And this is what I'm looking for. It's gone silent, sorry. That looks like it in the picture, so why is it not labelled? So it said got, as in I've got it. Is she in there? Do you know what? I'm going to have to put it in because otherwise I'm going to be in here all day. but it's clearly trying to take me in the right direction.
Yard.
Saying yard again.
Quack.
Right, this is important. Here it is. So she was the day she went missing. Did they take her back there? Right, let's see how far away it was. It looks like an island. Look, it looks like an island. So the box had already said island. Duck Island! And it just said quack. What the look! It just said
Used.
quack. Duck Island. Right. She's not there, is she? Hold on. Picture time. So, oh my God. When I saw that the spirit box had said island and quack, I assumed it meant they had taken her body back there because no one would think of that. I believe that the photos of her in the car were not taken on that day. Right, so now we get to the really weird bit. I discovered a new YouTuber today who actually happens to be autistic. And they think very much like me. Now, the weird thing is that Chris Cornell's investigator? No, it's not. And the weird thing is, look what they found. Now, so remember the island? I just need to find the right place on their video.
And the reason why I know he's instructed is because Hunter turns around and looks straight at the camera and straight at Candice. Then...
This is the day she was last seen.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
Go away. So this is the day she was last seen, okay? Now watch. This woman has spotted a boat. I do believe the spirit box said gap on one of the sessions. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me there. I do believe the spirit box said gap on one of the sessions, and you'll see how this woman shows that there's a gap for a boat to go through. Here we go.
Somebody on that bit who's looking at Summer and Summer knows and has waved to. Who? That's the question.
Summer has waved to, she said. Summer's seen someone in a boat and has waved to them. Spirit box did say waves on one of them. I'm going to dig all this out.
So then when you look at the fact is that Candice all of a sudden moves away from Summer because Summer is just staring at this person. So we can't see who or what or why she's doing it. She then turns to face the ground. From the ground, she looks up. You've got no volume, but you can see that Hunter has been told to go in and take her attention off whoever this or them are. because Hunter looks funny first. If you do it in slow motion, which I'll show you, then turns and doesn't go in front of Candice direct to get into the pool. He goes around and at the back of Candice and then into the pool. Does that make sense to you? When the direct walking from the river would be from where he stood front of Candice and the camera and the footage and whatever she's using, the phone. Then when he gets into the water, Summer is still very, very concentrating and still very still out in the cold with her body soaking wet, watching or staring or listening or hearing whoever's talking or whatever they're doing, has got her concentration. But if you look, there's nothing there that we can see, because there's an app that can remove. But what it can't do is remove the, how can I put it, the effects of what that thing or that person or them people were doing. So if you look closely, you'll see that something was on the water at the time. Summer's attention was constantly on there. But that's not all. Now what you're going to see is Hunter trying to get Summer off concentrating on that person, back onto him to start doing the swimming routine. But in the meantime, Candice ain't watching Hunter going into the water with her daughter. She's actually concentrating on making sure that the TikTok video was going to be done in this way. And quickly and swiftly, she moves from there onto Hunter, from Hunter down. Now, she says her excuse is, because he did the gang signs, I moved away really quick because I didn't want him to do the gang signs. Although, I'm going to show you pictures and footage of Candice taking photographs of not only Hunter doing gang signs, but also her own children, in many, many pictures and videos. So therefore, why was it important on this specific day to not show Hunter? Why didn't she cut that bit out? She cut quite a lot of everything else out. Why didn't she just cut the bit of Hunter?
Oh, by the way, isn't it weird how I got that fairy? Beardy brought that fairy back yesterday or the day before, and that's in my blog in my video about loads of coincidences. I think I've gone past the bit where you see the boat.
Gang signs out.
Sorry.
You can't tell me she didn't know how to do it because she removed
Let's go back.
Whatever. Or...
Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but trust me, there's a boat. She's looking at a boat. Can you turn this? Yeah, it's up there. And she's waving. So,
why do we connect?
Wait a minute.
We connect to exchange.
That is definitely a boat. That is the wake of a boat you can see there. So, this now fits the theory of was she trafficked, and boats and yachts are used a lot for trafficking. You only have to look at Epstein, and I believe Maddie McCann was taken by boat, put onto a boat by her father and given to a certain woman called Maxwell because she fits the photo fit of a woman that everyone seems to have forgotten about. So, did the spirit box point that island out, and is that the island that this YouTube creator is pointing out? Is this where the boat picked her up? Off this island here, in this park, Duck Island? And was it drawn, and is this why my attention was drawn to it? Now, I just assumed that's where they took her body back to. But does it actually mean that's where she was picked up? And it's thanks to this YouTuber that I'm now putting it together more. Okay. So, I also found interesting another video by this autistic lady, because if we go back to this teenage boy Hunter, everyone was jumping on him and saying he was a paedophile because he was playing with Summer. And I said, way back on 19th of April, this is a screenshot of my psychic notebook, which I keep so that everything is dated. I left a comment on a video for a YouTuber called Michelle Walks on the 19th of April, and I didn't post it in my diary till the 20th of April. So that's April, May, June, July, 3 months ago. I said, I believe because he has autism, he yawned constantly. Now, I didn't know he had autism, I just guessed, right? Because this is talking about this teenage boy during an interview with an ex-copper, an ex-policeman. And they were saying he was suspicious because he was yawning and fiddling. I said, I believe it's because he has autism. He yawned constantly, made funny noises and fiddled throughout the interview with Chris M. So he probably didn't have any friends his own age and enjoyed playing with Summer. I really doubt he would want to have sex with Candace. She looks like a butch lesbian. No offence to lesbians, but I'm pointing out why a teenage boy wouldn't be interested in her. I showed, that's not even important, blah, 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 about losing virginity with nurse. That's not the important bit. This is about the important bit's about me thinking this teenage boy was autistic, and I said this way back in April. Right, so to cut a very long video short, or I'll go on forever. Another video by this autistic lady confirmed it for me, because you will hear her say she believes he is autistic.
Subaru. That's right.
Right?
Alison starts to get texts. Why would Alison text Candice through this part and warn Candice that they were still under the interview? What was Candice doing there? What was Alison and Grandma doing there? Intimidating Hunter? Comment down below on this segment. Do you think that they were all there to intimidate Hunter, and that's why Hunter was yawning and picking at the table and rubbing his leg, because he was getting very much pressured to make sure he stick to the story? Now, for those of you who know someone or has ADHD or autism, knows that for us to try our best to stick to the story, you have to frighten us into doing it. So was he being intimidated? Not just by Candice, the suspect, but by Alison and great-grandma. But then what you've got to ask yourself is why? Why was it so important?
There you go. So she's there. Another autistic person like me, explaining she believes this teenager is autistic, and that's why he was fiddling throughout the interview. And also, I'm going to point out another bit she mentions about autism. When are they ever going to make this easier?
Minutes. But she says she went in on herself. Hunter says Grandis went in with her. Now we've got to decide who exactly changed Summer and when. So far...
Oh, this is a bit where she agrees with me about him not being a predator. Him playing with this little girl is just merely because he's autistic.
In the light of what Hunter says, Candice says, Grandis says, there was no time or room to change Summer, except for that hour when they went shopping. But they couldn't have changed Summer when they went shopping. Why? Because they went shopping for an hour. Now, let me put this scenario to you. They've gone into the shop. Summer's now feeling freezing cold because her skin's drying, but the clothes are getting the air coming in because Grandis and Candice do not like ACs, which means that Candice and Grandis, we know 1000%, had their window open. And the reason why Candice didn't wear a hat is because when they were speeding down, the hat would have been blown off. Right? Because the windows were down and she was getting crosswinded.
I've gone too far forward, sorry.
The windows at the back and the window.
Catch you. Around 7:30 that day. That night. Around 7:30 that day. That night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the park in Bristol with my girl.
Hanging out with your girlfriend?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And tell her that Summer's missing.
Sorry.
Shopping. Candice says, I picked the milk up and come straight out. To swimming and had more ice cold water. Ice cold water, which would have forced Summer's core temperature to actually drop further than being cold. We have seen her before in that get up, right? It's a tracksuit. It's in the car. It's the only thing.
Oh God! Put the wrong
that he
time
could get
down.
his hands on, so he puts that on her.
Oh, here we go.
Not realising the significance of what that was. Like I said, if you look at the burning video of Candice and the TikTok, you'll see Summer wearing exactly the same suit. So therefore, she's wore it more than one occasion. But they're obviously just putting it forward that it's a suit for school to put forward the heartbreak, I think, to make the story more heartbreakable. So would it make sense that Hunter saw his sister being cold, shaking? She's not afraid to...
Not his sister. She's not his sister. She's just saying he saw her like a sister.
Playing to Hunter. She's not afraid to say, I'm not well, I'm cold, I got bellyache, I don't feel too good. And it's not unusual for an autistic person like Hunter, who wants to protect someone like Summer, to actually say, don't worry, and become a hero and pick it and put it on. The trouble is, then you've got society and the society rules, where a strange teenage male left alone with a little 5-year-old vulnerable underweight female in a van, and he strips her and puts her on. Now if it was a father, biological, no problem. An uncle, no problem. And a brother, biological, no problem. But people aren't going to see Hunter for being actually very young in the mind. They're going to see him as his outer shell, which is more adult male than young child male. So I think what's happened there is that obviously Andrew Hiltz, now we all know Andrew Hiltz is a bit of a wacko jacko, and that he thinks...
She's saying exactly what I'm saying, that he's autistic and he doesn't see anything wrong with playing with a little girl, and there's nothing sinister in it, and he's not a weirdo. Right, anyway, I noticed also in this video, there seems to be some EVPs. I don't think she's realised that's what they are. But they're really creepy because, sorry, one of them mentions horses, which is something I keep getting. And they sound like a 5-year-old girl. Right, here we go.
You hit her road.
It's like just across from J&JL.
Okay. And then
You'll see what they say written up in large letters in blue, I think blue or white, up here.
and
No, that's one.
who goes into the store?
Her and her mother again.
Okay, so Candace and her mom go in the store again. And that left you and Summer in the car.
Yeah.
And what are you guys doing?
Just still watching TikToks, listening to music. I think they was in the store for an hour, maybe.
Okay. They were in the store for a long time?
Yeah, a little bit long, but not that long. Tobacco store.
She bought it.
I think it's like a Fanta orange.
Yeah. And then what? Yeah. And then what about the candy on the? What about the candy on the? The
That definitely sounds like
they come
her.
back to the car.
That is
Where's the
creepy.
milk?
Dealer's name.
Sorry, we'll play that
And what are
again.
you guys doing?
Just still watching TikToks, listening to music. I think
The one that says mum, the one that says can I go with my friend, the one that mentions Candace, and the one that says can I go to the water park, and the one about horses. There's
they
definitely
was in the store
a 5-year-old girl.
for an hour, maybe.
Okay. They were in the store for a long time?
Yeah, a little bit long, but not that long. Tobacco store.
She bought it.
I think it's like a Fanta orange.
Yeah. And then what? Yeah. And then what about the candy on the? What about the candy on the? They come back to the car. Where's the milk come in?
The milk. Oh, when they had to put everything in the bed of the truck.
That is really, really excellent EVPs. Anyway, so I mainly wanted to point out the confirmation about the island and how I now realise she may have been picked up by someone and trafficked by a boat. So I now have to go through, excuse me, the 3 sessions I did and see, because I do so many, I forget, and see if any words confirm it even further. But definitely got waves, definitely got island, definitely got water. Yeah, but I really like that YouTuber, and it's interesting how she has autism and thinks the same way as me.